Hello, greetings, this is Gilles Mancien. I wanted to come and say hello today to pull out a few cards. So I'm going to use a Chinese deck. It's a bit different kind of deck. I will look at past, present, future, and then what is invisible and what is visible. So what comes from the past is the Empress. It is the essence of beauty, the ability to connect to that great energy of beauty, of the feminine side of life, the whole of nature. What we are going through right now is the Five of Swords. The Five of Swords is like we're worrying too much. Let's stop worrying, and then we find the King of Pentacles, which is the harvest, the ones that can shine the light on the abundant light of the sun onto everyone. And where we're going through is the Hermit. We're going to find a way that is unique to ourselves. We'll be able to stand and hold our truth. We'll be able to find all those things we are looking for. What is invisible is the Seven of Swords. The Seven of Swords means there may be doubts that comes back into the picture, into the mind, old fear, old doubts. We need to eliminate it. Once we eliminate it, we will find the Emperor. The Emperor is the spring. It is the Aries. It is the one who is the master of the kingdom. And for that we need to be confident about our sovereign self. And what is visible, what we should enjoy and see coming more in the picture is this great, beautiful god of prosperity here. It appears in the French cards, but it's a different card. But here is the Four of Coins, is the one who's bringing the abundance in a way that is natural and flowing. So I hope you enjoy those times. I hope this message will have meaning for you. I hope you will be able to integrate all these blessings and to be open. There is not much to do but to receive once we have done what we need to do. And if we feel that we need to do something more than just act upon your inspiration. I was talking about past life and those great stories of mythology and as it relates to memory. For memory is the goddess, the Mnemosyne. She has a planet in the sky. No, she's not in this painting, but and then she met Zeus, and she had the muse, this 9 muse, which were and in many sense their mother is memory, is the memory, and then they chose this great poet named Hesiod, who told the most incredible adventure that man has ever known, the story of the great Greek gods and mythologies. And so in many senses, Hesiod was completely incapable of inventing that. He was just chosen by the muse to be the carrier of that memory, that story that was arranged in a way that human could understand it. The problem, I think, is mostly in science and philosophy right now, is that I'm going to say 99%, not to say 100% of the academic world would consider that those gods, the great Olympus and all those great entities of the cosmos are imagination that came out of the head of the poet. If you do not think that, then you are marginal. You cannot be taken seriously, or you're crazy, because those gods could never exist. And so we moved into a materialistic society. And yet those gods are still interacting with the collective consciousness of humanity, not just through those historical memories. That was all the Greek mythologies that the poets and the philosophers discussed for a very long time. But also in astrology, for when they ascended, they took on a higher position in the sky. But no one is forced to believe anything. There are astronomers that do not believe that astral body, celestial body, have intelligence. But in essence, I know for a fact that they do. And so yeah, today I saw that comment on something. It's the day of water. They decided, I don't know who decided that, from kind of that we will dedicate one day to one thing, like today is the day of water. But on that level, I just thought I note that I find it a bit degrading for women that the day of woman is between the day of cheddar and the day of crossword puzzle. I mean, men and women are children of God, and the whole universe was created for us, for our enjoyment. It's just that we have not come to the realization of that yet, and so we're still sometimes looking for that light, looking for that understanding. But in essence, water is also very, very important. So for a normal drop of water contains about a million billion molecules of water. It's a very simple molecule, hydrogen and oxygen. But in the Urantia, they say that just this understanding of putting those two gases together was completely mathematically impossible to create a superadditive substance that would extinguish fire. And if we did not have this water on our planet, we would never have thought about it. It's completely impossible. It would have been. So that would be the proof that that there is higher intelligence within the construction of life. Yet we have not came to that full understanding just yet. So. I saw that this is in French. I don't have an English version, but I wanted to read a little poem. It's from Lao Tzu, the Tao Te Ching, Tao Te Ching in English. This one's traduction from Richard Willem. It's my favorite translator. And the Tao Te Ching is from 6th century BC. It's a great master named Lao Tzu. It's a text. It's a book. It's 81 poems. And but there's deep, profound wisdom within each and every one of them. In Chinese, there is less than 5,000 characters, so it's like a very, very compressed, condensed, very intense book. But I recommend studying it. It's still up to date. There's still great wisdom to understand within this book. So I'm going to translate this poem. It's about water. It says, "Supreme good is like water. The virtue of water is to serve all, without interference to anyone. It dwells in places that humans dislike. It is in that way that is very close to the way, the Tao. As far as inhabitation, as far as dwelling, it manifests itself in location. As far as thought, it manifests itself in the depths. As far as offering, it manifests itself by love. In terms of, as far as words, it manifests itself as truth. In terms of, as far as art of governing, it manifests itself by order. As far as action, it results in the good result in talent. As far as movement, the good result in the choice of the moment. He who renounced to compete escaped all criticism." So it is about the wisdom of water, and so it is very, very powerful. So I read the first poem of that book. It's about the way. It is very, very powerful. It says, "The way that can be expressed is not the eternal way. The name that can be named is not the eternal name. I call non-being the beginning of earth and heaven and earth. I call being the mother of all individuals. Turning towards non-being leads to contemplate the marvelous essence. To turn towards the being leads to contemplate special limitation. Both of them comes from the one, and by their name only are different. In its unity, this one is mystery. Mysteries of mysteries is the door by which all marvels emerge." So I'm sorry, maybe a poor translation, but it's spontaneous. I saw that I illustrate that. I've done many paintings to illustrate some of those poems. It's a book that was very powerful to me. I wanted to show this little painting. It's a painting from 2005. It's called the Jacob's Ladder. So it is part of the interior. It is like this guy that's like moving under this painting. It looks like a Mark Roscoe, and he's holding this light, this great light, and yet he has it anchored in this great growing ladder of energy that moves towards the sky. So it's pretty nice painting. I've been asked in the French video about this pink square on top and this yellow square on the bottom. But in essence, they were part of the background of the painting before the solar system appeared into it. In many sense, I did that spontaneously. I did not calculate that, but the square is the Earth, is the symbol of the Earth, when the circle is the symbol of heaven in the I Ching. And so here we are, and yellow is the color of wisdom, the central sphere, and then pink is the symbol of love. So it is about keeping this diagonal between those poles of love and wisdom, so that which blend into the blue flame of power. Well, I hope this message was interesting for you. I wish you a wonderful day, and I'll talk to you later. Thank you. Namaste.